Hello, I'm Ryan, and this is Let's Roleplay channel news for May 23rd, 2021. So, check out my Oblivion shirt. Yes, I didn't think that you can get an Oblivion shirt anymore, and yeah, you couldn't, but they had them on Amazon. And anything on the Bethesda store, that's, it's 15 years old. They had, like, Fallout 76, they had, no Skyrim. If there was Skyrim, there's maybe a couple things, but they had mostly... For the Elder Scrolls it was Elder Scrolls Online for the most part. Yeah, so they actually had some nice shirts, and they weren't just all black, like what I've been getting. The previous two shirts were from the game companies. This one is from somebody else that just wanted to cash in and make money off it. But it's an Oblivion shirt, so can't argue with that. Yeah, what they were selling on the Bethesda store, the cost of shipping and handling was actually more than the actual shirts themselves. So I'm like, forget this. Way cheaper anywhere else. I mean, if I was totally into the Elder Scrolls Online or Fallout 76, then I can see getting their shirts, but no. So, there's been some concern over my memberships from a few people, and I would like to say again that there's nothing to worry about. Hasn't changed anything on my channel. My channel will still be the same good quality it's always been. Now there's just an extra. So, it's just for those who can afford to contribute. If you want channel perks and can contribute money, I am not begging each one of you. Don't worry about that. If you cannot afford it, do not worry about it. It's just if you can afford it. So I actually did get a member. It's not like I've had no one join. So if you're concerned about the master level membership, which allows you to write in a character that you want to be part of the story, don't worry about it. I'm a very good writer. I am a very good writer. And I can write anything on the fly. In fact, you would help me by giving me a topic to write about. You really would. There's a few times I'll sit, and it might take me a few minutes to come up with something to write, but I always can come up with something to write about my character. It's one of my skills. So don't worry about it. It's not going to screw anything up. You're only helping and adding. And I'm very creative. I can just take it anywhere I want to go with it. If it ever in the future did become an issue, then I would change it. And I'd give a lot of notice for that membership option. Or I would just get rid of that membership option in the future. No one would lose money. So don't worry about it. It will never be a problem. I will never let it compromise my channel or my characters. My characters are my number one. They always have been, and they always will be. So I was actually afraid that YouTube wouldn't make allowing videos that you put out early for your members, because there was no documentation on it. There was nothing. YouTube didn't have any official source describing what to do. But it offered it as a perk for you to give to your memberships. I'm like, okay, well, how do I do this? Thankfully, it's not as bad as I thought. They actually have the option to publish it to members only of any level that you have a membership, which surprised me. YouTube, you surprised me. That's better than I thought it would be. The only thing that YouTube needs to do is to have it so, because I tend to publish my videos at a set time, like tomorrow at 10, for me, Pacific Standard Time. 10 and 11, that's when I put up my videos every day, except for, this channel news. So it does not allow you to do both, so I cannot go members only to view it early, and it comes out at a set time for everyone else to see it. So I may take it off a day early to publish it for, say, tomorrow at 10 and 11, or I'll just, when that time comes, I will just manually do it. But either way, it's a bit of an extra thing I have to do, but I really don't mind. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe a minute or two extra every day. Okay, so for my actual channel, one thing I've noticed is that when new games come out, the first video that comes out for that game tends to get a lot of views, and that carries on for the lifetime on my channel, actually. It's happened with Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Morrowind, now with Oblivion. It's also happened with Baldur's Gate, the first game, and Pillars of Eternity. But one thing that hasn't happened is with Pillars of Eternity 2 and Baldur's Gate 2, those are kind of underperforming right now in terms of views and watch time. It's not all that bad, though, because they are increasing slowly as the months go on. So I'm not sure exactly why the reason is for that. But, you know, as for Baldur's Gate and Pillars of Eternity, the first games, they're actually getting decent amount of views and watch time. And watch time is the stat that you have to really pay attention to on YouTube. That's the #1 stat. Views and subs don't... They actually don't even really matter. It's all about watch time when it comes down to it. That's the most important metric to go by. So, for Morrowind is actually doing so well on my channel. It's about 1/3 of the entire watch time. The last few months, maybe 2, 3, 4 months, 1/3 of the entire watch time. I'm kind of impressed by that. So, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 combined work out to be about 1/5 of all the watch time. And Oblivion's really going up, surprisingly, probably more than any other new series I've created. It has about 1/10 of the watch time, and it's only been out for less than 2 months. I'm pleased to say that my channel is actually reaching the point where, maybe in a couple days, it will reach about the same point. I'm very close to it, that I did last year for my channel high. And that's really good, because when I got rid of Project 1999 EverQuest, that took around half of my watch time away from my channel. I was very surprised, because YouTube wasn't really telling me exactly. Like, I figured at best 20%, but no, came out to about half. And I think it's more than that. When you take out a chunk of your videos that people are watching, it also takes from all the watch time and all the views. So it kind of dropped me down some categories, which ironically I have to recover from again, because last year was me trying to recover from my high in 2016, which I would love to get to again. And maybe next year I will get there. My channel is growing. It's really nice to see the growth in April and May. It's growing. It's not growing astronomically. I don't have anything that's gone viral, but it's consistent growth, and I'm very happy to see it. And I've also been advertising outside of YouTube in several different ways, and it's really helping. It's helping to bring traffic to my channel. So as for the games themselves, well, as I'm playing through them, I don't quite have an idea of what I'm going to face for the most part. Like, I'll have a general plan of what I want to do, where I want to go, what quests I want to work on for that video, or get to the point where I'll be able to get to those quests. But Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, since I played through it so many times, I pretty much know exactly what's going to happen. So it's not a surprise to me. So once I get to the point where Ajantis and Orin were in my last playthrough, the furthest point that I went through, then it's all new to me, so I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go for myself as well. So it's kind of a nice add-on to a story that how I know it's going to go, and let's hope it works out the right way that I would like it to, and everybody else would like it to. But I didn't create the mod. We'll see how it goes. But as for Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, I played them both blind and going through that, so I am reacting to things that happen to the character as anyone reacts to things that happen to them in life, though within the personality of that character that I'm playing with. So I'm not just going to create some new, oh, suddenly he turned evil, or I mean, make mistakes from time to time, which I have, and all my videos series will have a few mistakes, but for the most part I'm just reacting. And Oblivion, I would say I probably have to get about video 100, then after that, that's all new territory for me. There's things I have not done, because, like I said before, the game used to crash for me so often. It's hard. It was really hard to play. And crashes are much reduced, though they do happen. If I make 10 videos, it may happen 2-3 times now. But as before, they would just crash, like, sometimes every 5 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. I think on average about 20 minutes. It was really difficult to play the game before I started this series, and really looked into ways of fixing that bug-prone game. Oh man, there's so many bugs. I don't understand why people say Skyrim was buggy. Holy man, you have no idea what you're talking about. Skyrim was not buggy. It was the most stable, first stable Bethesda game for me, and I was able to get super far in it. If anything that messed it up, it was the mods. There's these sound mods that they had for it, and that made a save game bloat, where the game just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then became corrupted. All of the saves. So I couldn't continue on. That was my first experience with Skyrim. I was not happy about that, but Yeah, I think people know about save game bloat now. That was 10 years ago, or almost 10 years ago. But, yeah, let's go on. Oh, yeah, so there's something coming up for Malcolm. It's not a bug glitch, so don't get me wrong here. It's not a save problem, not a technical issue. Something that happened within the game, and it was totally unexpected, and I actually thought it came from another source, and I have to be cryptic about it, because I don't want to let anybody know what it is, and it's about 10 videos ahead of what's currently published on my channel, so yeah, I'll be dealing with that. It's kind of funny because it's not all that bad for the character alignment that I'm playing, so I don't know. Some of you may have picked up on what happened already. But, so I've done a lot of good voice work for Baldur's Gate, actually, because there's so much reading to go through in that game that it requires me to kind of... I mean, I don't speak with my regular voice, I speak differently for just about every character I speak with, even if it's just an NPC. You can kind of get a feel for what their accent will be like by the way that they greet you. They'll have like a greeting. And the way that they talk, the way it's written. I thought I've done a lot of good work in that game. It's probably my best voice work so far. But, you know, each game is totally a different experience for me to play my characters. It's a different challenge. Each character has its own issues. I would say Keldon Zatha is probably the closest to me personally. Though he's more laid back than I would be if I was in his position facing all those incredibly difficult life or death situations that he does. So, yeah, so in response to the Q&A of Malcolm's alignment, I had to think about that for a while. Now, I would say maybe lawful evil, but lawful evil characters tend to use the law on their side to get what they want. So, I mean, neutral evil is a bit of an easy answer, but I don't know if that's actually true. He doesn't want to get caught, so if he's out in the wilderness and there's somebody that has something he wants, he will take it. And he doesn't really care. So I don't know. He wouldn't do that in town. He wouldn't do that in the Imperial City. Lawful evil and neutral evil. I don't know. Leave your thoughts what that would be. It's kind of confusing me. This is a bit of an Easter egg for Buck and Ralph Stormcloak. You were both interested in knowing about how I met my wife and things like that. Well, this is us on our wedding day. Yeah, I find her very beautiful. And, you know, obviously I've changed a bit over time. I think I look better now than I did back in 2009. But everybody changes over time. This is how my wife looked, and this is how I looked on 2009. August 15th on our wedding day. Yep. So I had someone last month berate me for my choices of what I did in the first Oblivion video. You cannot tell me how to make my videos. You can... I actually do take feedback from you guys more seriously than you may think. But you cannot come and bully me into playing the way you want me to play. It will never happen. Because I used some lockpicks in the first video for a character that didn't have anything when he was let loose from prison. So it makes more sense to me to use a few of the lockpicks. I explained that he was shown how to do it once in his past. So, and he was only using it on very easy lockpicks. Till he got the spell to open up very easy lockpicks, and I think I may have done a few other ones, a couple others after that, because he didn't have the ability to open up easy locks, and then it just, yeah, he just uses his spells, and he has Fergus to do those now, and I've been experimenting the last few weeks with Fergus doing it. He can open up almost everything. You just have to make sure he has enough lockpicks, because he actually does go through them. So no, you cannot bully me. Come and leave suggestions, and if it really bothers you and you have to leave in a game where everyone is supposed to be self-sufficient, because you're not supposed to... It wasn't created to have companions help and fulfill different roles. You're supposed to be completely self-sufficient. So that makes little sense to me, but, I mean, to each their own. I do have roles that I have each of my characters play within the Bethesda self-sufficient type games that they make. And there'll be things that they don't do. I mean, when did Sunil cast Destruction Magic? Or Conjuration Magic? Actually, he used a couple Conjuration Scrolls he was able to use. But anybody can use those in the game. And that's throughout 213 videos. There was like 2 or 3 times I may have used it. I never used destruction spells for fighting. It was always his bow and his sword. That was it. And yeah, he's a fighter. He's a warrior type. He knew how to lockpick quite well because he came from the Thieves Guild. He was an enforcer type. I laid that out in the very first video. Now, as for Malcolm not having anything and starting out and doing everything he can to get whatever he could, that's what a normal person would be like if they're in that situation. You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm a mage. I can't open up lockpicks. That's not my class type. That would never happen. Sorry, it's more unrealistic. I feel it's more unrealistic to do that way. Oh, it's locked. Can't open it. There's 30 lockpicks you just saw in an empty or a chest that was unlocked. So why not? So no, you can't bully me. And if you don't like it, please take your viewership elsewhere. So I also had a bit of a weird issue I couldn't figure out. I think it happened last week. Today's Sunday. It happened last week? Maybe the week after before that. Where somebody said that there's a lot of stuttering in my videos, Oblivion videos, which, I mean, I've really gone out of my way to make sure that they look good. And I thought he was talking about maybe a FPS drop while I'm traveling throughout the countryside, and it was very smooth when I watched it. And he said it's not even that, it's just your whole video is stuttering. I don't know. I watched the video on my channel as it is, as everyone sees it. I watched it, the video I have that I uploaded, looked perfectly smooth. My wife watched it on her phone. There was no stuttering that we can see. I don't know. If anybody sees any stuttering, please let me know in the channel. And don't talk about those stuttering videos that I had for Morrowind when I went to Soulstone. I am well aware of that. That's why I went out of my way to make sure that my videos look really good. And I'm sorry for the traveling to Shadenhall. I forget which video it is that I made a mistake where the number, the episode number was not the correct one, so I went back and redid it. And when I redid it, I forgot to unzoom to make the thumbnail. And then that's why you'll see the middle half of the video is zoomed in. It doesn't look that great, and I apologize for that. So yeah, I don't know what to do about that. But as for stuttering, the game, this is still an old game. It's 2006 for Bethesda. They really had to work on stuff over the 2000s. Probably, I don't know what the previous game, Daggerfall and Arena, were like. I don't know if they had the first FPS issues or not. But when you're out in the outside world and you still load cells as you go along. I'm not talking about going into buildings. I'm just talking about running or riding your horse. You will have to load new cells, and it will stop for, not stop, but slow down for a second. And then it's back up to the higher FPS. And that's the way it was in Morrowind. That's the way it is in Oblivion. I don't remember if it was in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Yes, I know Obsidian did New Vegas. They still use the Fallout 3 game engine that Bethesda created. But I don't remember at all from Skyrim. Skyrim has most of my playtime for all the Elder Scrolls games. I don't remember any slowdowns in that game. And if it did happen, it was extremely minor. Yeah, I'm so excited to be able to eventually get to Skyrim next year, I hope. Oh, I really don't know how long the Shivering Isles will add to Oblivion, because I've never ever stepped foot in the Shivering Isles. Haven't seen the end of the game either. So I've done all the basic quests from the cities and a few of the Fighter Guild's quests. Actually, I did finish the Mages Guild quest in the past. That quest line. That's the only quest line I finished. I haven't done anything else. Finished anything else. So it's kind of new for me, and I'm excited to be able to play and go through it. And I think the game world looks beautiful. I'm very happy with how it looks. But I don't see any stuttering. The slowdown, it does slow down and then crash every once in a while, especially when you're traveling from city to city in the outside world. I have added in a lot to fix that, and I'm probably getting way, way less crashes than I normally would if I was just playing without all these things to prevent the crashes. But they still do happen. Please give memberships for my channel a thought if you can afford it and want channel perks. So just go click on the join my channel on the channel page just to see the membership perks and the prices and everything like that and the different levels. It'll take you right through it. And that's only if you can afford it. Don't feel bad if you can't. I know I probably couldn't afford it. I'm already paying to everything I can to keep this channel going as it is, with the little income that I get. So, yeah, I have Discord server, and I've set it up for members to come in, and you can give me your thoughts on any of the games there. Your ideas, it's for each of the different games, and there's one for members only there, and just, it's on the right side of my banner on the channel page. You'll be able to see it. Discord's free. Anyone can go there. You'll always have a voice there. YouTube cannot silence you there for whatever reason, if it's political or just glitched out, why it's been censoring. I don't even know if there's censorship. If they've been stopping people from posting, you can't be affected on there. I also have Parler. I have Patreon. That's also if you want to donate through that way. Patreon, I think, gives 80% to the person, whereas YouTube, all the memberships and the commercials give 70%. So it's a little better on Patreon, although it's all big tech. I don't like it either, but there's no other choice. It's the only way to put these videos out. And I have tried. I've looked at other ones. Video Motion is the only other one, and it was nowhere near as good as YouTube. And things like BitChute and stuff like that, that's not really for videos, for gaming. It's more everything else. But maybe there's some people putting gaming videos out there. I find BitChute to be a little laggy, or sometimes I can't even get videos to play on there. Don't know. And nothing is as good as YouTube. YouTube is kind of cornered how, like, when it comes to quality, because they've been working on it since 2005 was when it first opened up. So they've had 16 years, 17 years. Oh, that would be 16 years. 16 years to get it all right. And I remember YouTube being a little buggy and wouldn't play at times about 10 or so years back. Just happened occasionally. But I haven't had any issues in like the last 7-8 years. It's been really, really good. So, I have all these other options for you to come to, and I think that's about it for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment if you want. Don't be afraid of leaving a comment on any of my videos. We'll see you later.